Go on BBC Radio Shropshire, coming up to 10 to 5. Good afternoon, I'm Andy Martindale. I hope you are well. Happy New Year to you. Now, we love a good story about people taking on challenges to give back to the community. Well, a primary school teacher from Shrewsbury has completed a challenge to run 2,020 miles in the year 2020 to raise money for charity. Chris Hunt challenged himself to run the same number of miles in the year to raise money for St Giles Hospice, and I'm delighted to say that Chris joins me now. Happy New Year to you, Chris. So tell us about the challenge that you set yourself for 2020.
Hi, Andy. Yeah, Happy New Year to you as well. It's something I'd considered for a while as a bit of a challenge for myself, and coming up to 2020 seemed like a good year to do it. Unfortunately, we lost my father-in-law at the start of January, so I sort of combined it with raising money for the hospice that treated him. So it's been a crazy year, really.
So I'm trying to work out 2,020 miles. Did you do this, obviously, on a day-by-day basis? How many miles did you set yourself per day or per week, for example?
So like I said, at the start of the year, I got the calculator out, and I worked out it worked out just over 5.5 miles a day. Then discovered it was a leap year, so that was good. So that added another day for me. I didn't set it as a challenge where I had to run every day, because I'm not sure that would have been maintainable. So where I could, I tried to do a few extra miles and sort of bank enough to buy a day off, or a rest day, or do a shorter run. So I've mixed it up quite a bit.
And where did you run? Did you have a particular route or place there where you'd go?
A lot of my runs were just sort of plodding around Shrewsbury. At the start of the year, I had great idea of entering, a couple of half marathons every month and various 10Ks, and obviously COVID put paid to all of that. So I was quite limited by the availability of sort of official events. So a lot of it was kind of plodding around the streets of Shrewsbury. I did a few runs where my long-suffering wife dropped me off at one end of the Llangollen Canal and picked me up at the other end, just to vary things, and quite a bit on the treadmill as well. I decided early on that I was still going to count miles on the treadmill, so I did quite a few miles at the Shrewsbury Club treadmill, and eventually in my own garage on a treadmill that I was really kindly led by someone.
Yeah, and you had a setback in November as well, because you caught COVID, didn't you?
Yeah, things were going quite well. I'd had a bit of a setback earlier in the year in May when I put my back out. Ironically, just bending over to stroke the dog. So that wiped 2 weeks out. So I was a bit behind, and I was just getting back on track of things. I'd got my daily average back down to about 5 miles a day when my wife came home and said, "Oh, I don't feel very well," and then some forced isolation turned into all of us in our house catching COVID, and that took out, I think, about the best part of 3 weeks.
Wow. And when you finished your challenge, how did you feel?
It was very surreal. Very tired, but
and emotional as well, because
really.
And emotional as well, because obviously you done it for the cause of St Giles Hospice that treated your father-in-law.
Yeah, I think as well. Yeah, it's been kind of quite an emotional year. I had some T-shirts printed that have got the picture of my father-in-law on the back of them, and it kind of it's hard for my wife as well to watch me go out wearing those all the time. And but we've raised a fantastic amount of money, and the support I've had has been absolutely fantastic. So it's been quite surreal, a bit overwhelming.
And how much did you raise?
At the moment, I'm on £2,350.
Wow.
So initially I'd set the target of 2020 because it seemed silly not to. But we had quite a late surge. I think we've had about £1,000 in the last month or so. But some incredible donations, really. I've via Twitter, I've sort of been in touch with a chap in America who's also running 2020 in 2020.
Uh-huh.
And it's been nice to sort of follow his journey. And midway through the year, he sponsored me £50. So it's some of the donations from people I've never even met before have been fantastic.
Yeah. And can people still donate to your, is it a Just Giving page or something?
Yeah, they can, yes. If you put the Run 2020 Just Giving. It should come up. I've also got I've got a blog. If I can just give that address, because that's got a link straight to the the Just Giving. It's run 2020 in 2020.weebly.com. And I'm on Twitter with the tag @run 2020 in 2020.
Well, Chris, amazing. Well, congratulations once again, and a great amount of money raised for St Giles Hospice. Thank you so much for coming on, and congratulations. Well done.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
This is BBC Radio Shropshire. This is new from Taylor Swift's